Love. Straight off the bat. Took out love.
All right, so we did a take before this because we didn't really know what to talk about. It started off a bit slow.
Yeah, it was no directional. No
Yeah,
directions.
not like One
Straight
Direction.
down.
So I think this one, I thought, why don't we talk about love?
We had a brief stop and he's like, oh, do you want to talk about
Mandated safety.
mandated safety? It's like seatbelts. I'm like, seatbelts doesn't seem that interesting. He's like, oh nah. Like, where does it you draw the line? Mandated vaccines? I'm like, heavy
Mandated
topic.
food we eat.
Heavy topic.
Yeah.
What about love? Do you want to talk
What
about?
about love? Well, for the viewers, I don't know. For me and you,
Brody, what are you seeking in life? What do you need?
what do I need? There's a lot of things that I want. What do I need?
What do you need love wise?
Love wise. Well, when we think about love in in a relationship, what do we think, because I guess love's a lot different from just, like obviously, I don't know, There's of course there's attraction. You got to be that comes into it a lot, but then there's more to what's just on the outside, because you can think a lot of people realize this, but you can get with someone who's attractive, and it can last a little bit. You can have a lot of fun, but then once the honeymoon period's over, once the honeymoon period's over, then you realize you don't
There's
really,
nothing of substance.
yeah, you don't have anything in common with that
No
person.
substance.
So,
And deep down, it's an instinct. It's an animal instinct to reproduce and pass on your genetic material.
well, I think as a Christian, it's more than that. It's also like it's we have an affinity for pleasure as humans. We tend to just want we short-term pleasure versus short-term gain versus long-term short-term pleasure versus long-term game.
You got there eventually.
Gain, yeah. I don't know which one it is, gain or pleasure. And yeah, there's yeah. So obviously, I don't believe we have evolved from over millions of years. So for me, sex is not just
Covenant.
yeah. It's a covenant, but it's not just like an instinct, an inbuilt evolutionary instinct.
Yeah, I mean, as a Christian,
So
of course you'd say that.
yeah, but I think going into that, would it I guess it's still a similar thing though.
Well,
know.
if you break it down, they're just chemicals in the brain, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, like, what is love?
Yeah. Yeah.
Break it down into like an evolutionary byproduct to reproduce, and we don't do a little not like birds. We're doing a little feather dance to try and we have our own very complex dances.
Like
as
how we
humans.
dress,
Yeah.
is a big thing comes into it. I guess depending on how much you think about, how self-conscious you are or things like that, it can also be how you act.
Yeah. What other levels play into it? Obviously, it's how you act, but if you act a certain way, you're trying to attract a certain type of person. Brody's turning us down, turning us down,
you up.
turning me up,
Right.
turning me up. What?
So this is a short one today.
Yeah.
Well, not a short one, but a slow one.
I feel like it is a slow one. I feel like a slow burner, but
Yeah.
the first episode would look bam, 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 boom,
Had so much
talk.
to
It's
talk
because
about.
we had so much to talk about, and we
Yeah.
had, we just had like so many topics, but in a way we didn't even cover any of those topics in the end. We just kind of introduced ourselves, and I guess it gave us like more structured first episode. That's for sure. We're like, what's the aim of the first episode? To introduce ourselves, and then as our natural conversation progresses, like it always does, we go down tangents, and like the overarching, theme of the first episode is basically meant to be introducing ourselves, but what we end up doing is always going on tangents, so it's filled in all those holes. So we probably only did like half an hour of introducing ourselves, and then then the other hour was us just talking about random topics, you know, filling it in. And just, I think that's hard trying to come up with something to talk about. And I guess it might be something we get better at as we go on, or like something we plan at before. Like, get Brody the AC demon. Are you cold now?
Too hot.
Oh, sipping on hot tea, making him hot.
Oh,
Anyway, where I was going with that one is,
Can you put it on fan too? Press it.
yeah. Is it good now?
Yeah.
Okay. What was I talking about before I got
don't know.
distracted by the AC?
I don't know.
Anyway,
It's
more
29
topics.
degrees today.
Something, yeah, as we get better at, it's probably coming with some talking points for the episode, and you know, a general direction. But it's kind of hard. I probably should set out like half an hour the day before, trying to look at some things, look at stuff in the news. I mean, you know, we want to be
Maybe.
like a topical podcast, but also, you know, lighthearted, bit of fun.
Yeah.
You know, nothing too serious. That's why I don't want to talk about like
Ukraine.
what Ukraine, because I have no idea really. I don't have to give an opinion because I don't know enough to give an opinion right now.
Mandated opinions.
Yeah, mandated opinions.
I've actually had a newfound love for life,
Oi!
which I think is what I'm not so.
What do you mean?
I'm not well. Like the last couple of weeks, I've gone to church. I've been looking for a church in Cranbourne. Still sort of looking. I'm very particular. But then also like, I don't know. I've been worried about money for a while.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, running out of money, like not having a job. But I don't know. Like I just, like, yeah. So I think church is one thing, but also like I had some ideas about, you know, what I sort of want to contribute to in life, like what I want to create.
Contribute to in society. I
Yeah.
guess.
Like and what I want to sort of do in my local area kind of thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean,
And love.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course. But I think before going back to uni, I was really scunned for money, and I was just working once or twice a week, which I could probably do better at. But like I got a full-time job and I worked a month and a half and saved up a bit of coin. So now I'm not too stressed about money, but I'm also being less frugal with it. I should be more frugal. That's
know what you
something I
mean.
wish I could do, but I just spend too much.
Mm.
I think I can do it. It's just like self-control, really.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because when I was really broke, I'd have supreme self-control. You know, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
spend it on anything or like very little. But also there's a few things that, like going forward into my adult life, I want to be better at. It's definitely like time management and, you know, just these general skills that I'm struggle at. I feel like I have good common sense
Mm-hmm.
and a good ability to learn, but
Yeah.
poor time management.
And conversate with people.
Yeah, I feel like I have good social skills.
Yeah.
Speaking of social skills,
That's what I was talking about.
what?
Not social skills, but socialist. When you were talking to the people on campus
Yeah,
who are socialists or believe in socialism, you can be very like, you know, you can talk to them about it.
yeah. You're
and be
allowed to have
calm.
conversations with people you don't
Well,
agree
it's
with.
just good common sense to
Yeah.
you know be able to have a conversation with somebody
Get a
who
good, you got to get a good worldview of what everyone else thinks. You know,
yeah, but also not to just like
create an echo chamber for yourself.
yeah or
Of your
just
own
judge
views.
them or argue with people. You
Yeah.
know, like try and actually conversate with them. And,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that'd just make a better world if everyone just talked. And what an amazing point of view to have. No one's ever had that point of view before.
Oh, what?
It's just like, the world would be better if everyone just had talked and was nicer than no shit. But the world's not that simple.
No.
Anyway, but
Yeah.
like just uni and, you know, when I finish uni, what I'm gonna do and stuff like that. And
What do you want to do?
well, obviously I'm doing engineering, so I want to do something engineering related, hopefully.
Yeah, because I think I was talking to Casey about this actually. I might have been. We might have been. Like with the thing about you being an engineer come up, but I've thought about it before, and I thought, I wonder like whether you're gonna, you know, sort of which direction you're going to head. If you're just sort of going to work for like an engineering firm and just, you know, just contribute like that, or if you're going to get like those sparks of creativity and like, I guess with you, how you make music and like things like that and the conversations you have, I think your engineering, like your personality could flow into that and you could get these crazy ideas and
I think,
try and build
I think
stuff.
I want to get a job that I find interesting, and I do find engineering interesting, especially like the electrical aspect of it. And
Do you reckon you'll be the next, you'll create the Australian electric vehicle?
yeah, maybe, who knows?
That'd be cool.
That would be cool, but
Yeah.
I I'd like to like have an interesting enough job that I find enjoyable to go to and not like I hate, but also like doing an engineering job and having that know-how. Like I'd like to put that into like projects I do outside of work, you know, like I'd really like to take my current car and make it like an electric car, you know.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool, or something interesting like
I'd
that.
like to put like a
Have a project car.
nice engine in my car.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Like, you know, change it to rear-wheel drive and
Yeah. So really, it's like engineering is like I want to be an engineer to have an interesting job that also pays well to fund. Like I'd love to go like travel more and stuff, and you know if I get a good job with a good amount of holiday and stuff and good pay, I can go on great holidays and see the sights and you know go and experience the world. No?
Sorry, I'm just very like, I want to like relax. I got a bar here, I got a cord here. Can't really get comfortable.
Brody has been so conscious with like how everything looks. It's insane. Like he was like before, he was like setting up the chairs to make sure they're even and making me sit up square in my chair to make sure that we're the same size.
Right now I'm
like
adjusting the volume as well.
Making everything's in proportion, making sure we get some of the sky in the background. And
tell me about it. Last time it was black. We had it closed. Look how nice the sky looks in this one. It's blue. It's pretty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, beauty. We talk about beauty in life and love. There's obviously beauty, like it's the first thing you notice in somebody, and I think there's a point where like, you know, it's good to always sort of try and find a partner because you like, you know, you connect with them and you actually love them for who they are. But at the same time, there's a line you draw with beauty. Like there's certain people you wouldn't get with because they're not attractive enough for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but like the things deep down are more important, but you know, how important is it to be attracted to someone? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean. Like,
but like also flowers are really pretty. You're really struggling to keep up with me on this.
Yeah, a little. I'm struggling, but keep going. I'm not gonna kill your vibe.
Yeah, flowers, like, you know, I just like lately I've been more just like really, I just enjoy like the nice, like pretty things in life. You know what I mean? This is getting really weird. This podcast.
This is a like conceptual fucking podcast. This episode.
Well, that actually is a good thing to talk about because that's what's sort of changed with me lately. Like, is my way I conceive the world. Is conceive the right word?
Perceive,
but like the way I conceptualize.
Yeah,
the way I picture things.
Yeah, and the way you perceive the world. Yeah.
Yeah, a very
You said conceive, like you just.
That's like give birth.
Yeah, you just made it.
Yeah, no, I didn't make it, but yeah, like I got an appreciation. I think going to church has helped because like you obviously meet like you know, it'd be nice to start a family and stuff, and going to church helps because you meet like, you know, other women and they're like, you know, you can see like beauty, like because when you're Christian and you're like, I want a Christian girlfriend, you know what I mean, or a Christian
it must
wife.
be hard, right?
You see like attractive women and you're like, you know what I mean. You just have to kind of, but then you see like attractive Christian women and you're like, wow, because it's like it's a thing on the inside as well.
It's just like, wow.
Yeah, pretty much me in church. I'm like,
yeah, you fucking weirdo.
Get the bear down.
Sorry.
Okay, you can have it back. Here you
Thank
go. Yeah. So I don't know, flowers and rainbows and nice
natural
land
things.
and yeah.
But also, I like finding like fucking symmetry and shit. You know, like
clothing.
damn,
man-made
like a
thing?
nice modern looking house. I'm just like, that looks good. like, why do we find symmetrical things more beautiful than others, or
They
whatever?
say symmetrical faces are more attractive.
Yeah,
They say that.
Why? That's so weird, right?
I don't know.
Such an odd thing.
It is an odd thing. I don't understand why. Why do you?
Evolutionary, maybe.
Maybe.
Or is it a intelligent creator?
Hmm. Well, I don't know. Maybe it has to do with the different hemispheres of the brain. If something's more even, maybe the two hemispheres are communicating
yeah.
more effectively.
Have you ever seen that video about like from this bloke? I think he's called SCP Gray on YouTube or something like
if
that.
the
If their hemispheres
corpus
are cut?
callosum is missing. Yeah.
No, yeah, like if they like
It's the corpus callosum, isn't it? The bit in between your brain.
yeah. So if that's like
It's
cut in half,
Yeah.
like the different halves of the brain disagree, and it's like two people inside of one
Yeah,
body.
because one part of one hemisphere controls speech.
Yeah,
The other one can't speak.
The other one can't speak.
So if it can't communicate,
Yeah, but it can the other half controls one half of the body, and like that video freaked me
yeah,
out.
it did to me as
Freaked
well.
me out. Like, and then I was like, is there someone in here in my brain that's not me?
Oh, I thought about that too.
Like I was like sitting there. I'm like, so one hand's controlled by the me who speaks, and that's who I think I am, and one hand isn't. But no, it's both you. See, now I'm using like vocabulary like there are two people inside my head, and I watched that video. It just fucked me up. It's like, so what if they just nicked it and I could have like a functioning, completely disconnected side of the brain, like that just has access to the nerves to one side of my body, and like, like, so if like the brain isn't cut into like isn't an even category. It's not like this is for this, this is for this, this is for this. There's a lot of overlap, and there's some main parts that fire off when they're doing one task, but like there's a lot of overlap. No, it's not just one thing. And so I'm thinking like, no, I can like speech is controlled by one hemisphere of the brain. They say, but does that mean like my internal monologue, my internal speech is controlled by that same part, or is it controlled by both? You know what I mean? Your thoughts. So which side are they controlled by, or is it both?
It would have to be both.
Yeah, but the one side doesn't know how to speak, or does it? You know what I mean? Because if there's one side that controls how to speak, then yeah. See, you're getting these roundabout loops. It's better not just to think, not to think about these things, because it freaks you out.
Well, both sides of the brain are still connected to your brain stem.
Yeah.
So you got to think that would have, like, it wouldn't just be there completely separate.
But isn't a brain stem just the access point for your nerves?
I assume so. But then people talk about the vagus nerve, which is essentially all the nerves. Like, you see like in like Marvel movies and stuff, they have like Electric Man or whatever, and he's just
Electric Man.
Yeah, Electric Man. Like, but that's
I haven't heard of that one, guys.
Well, like a person made of electricity. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think in the zombies games, you ever play Call of Duty Zombies, and they have the
I've played it, but there's like one man made electricity or something.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what the vagus nerve looks like.
Yeah, but I was just thinking like, but your body can also have like reactions where it doesn't have to fire an impulse all the way to the brain and back to get a reaction. Like you touch something hot, your hand reacts before it can send a signal to the brain. That's just like a non-thinking reaction. Yeah. But like
it's your nerves, buddy, isn't it?
Yeah. But like your leg, there's like a big nerve stem right at the base of your like spine, like right at the arse.
Yeah, I think that's sort of,
and so it can fire quickly to there and back to make a decision. Like, but to move away the arm or to not,
would that be why?
Is that thinking?
Yeah, well, would that be why like disabled people or drunk people, because they have impaired brains, they can touch something really hot and it takes longer for them to get that impulse to
definitely, of course, yeah, and they feel painless and all stuff like that, metabolic reactions, shit like that, just throw out some buzzwords, make me seem smart,
Does this look weird with my leg like that?
Yeah, you look like a complete weirdo.
Yeah,
you can look at this.
I know you're joking, but now I gotta move it.
I
feel like I'm very lad. Oh, there we go.
Put in the comments below how much you think Brody will readjust adjust the
But I
aircon,
can't get
adjust his
comfortable.
mic stand, adjust how he looks,
You know, maybe I should just kick up the
turn the mics up
kick
and
up the
down.
recliner and just go to sleep. And Joel, you can
I'll just try and
you can
talk
do
and
this podcast.
do this for an hour and a half. You
Yeah.
know, try and keep the audience entertained.
Yeah.
How's your music going?
Oh, good. I'm pretty much finished.
This album?
Yeah.
Is it an album or an EP?
It's an
What's the
album. This is an
difference?
album. EP extended play is it's like this track. So a single is 1 to 3 tracks. Interestingly enough, single isn't just one song.
Yeah.
An EP is, I think, less than 5, and then an album is anything over 5.
Huh. Well, I
So-
didn't know that.
Yeah, that's it.
I thought an EP was like your first album. or
Yeah,
something
no,
like
it's
that.
actually not. Most people, I think, do an EP first because it's like if they're getting it professionally mixed and mastered, it's like $200 a song to mix it, and then mastering is probably another couple hundred. So that's
But you did that yourself, obviously.
I do that myself. It's not professional quality, but it's
Good enough.
high quality amateur.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
He's a high quality
Average
amateur,
quality.
guys. High quality amateur.
yeah.
Yeah. So when do you reckon? Do you have a release date in mind?
It was
or-
the end of March, and I mean, like I am pretty much at the like moving from production into the mixing stage. So, but I have to mix all of them. There's 13 tracks, and I have to
Yeah.
mix like some of them have like 40 individual tracks in them.
40.
Yeah,
Damn. Oh, like lanes, like
Yeah, whatever.
channels, whatever.
channels. Yeah,
Yeah.
channels. So I have to mix all of them as well.
Yep.
But yeah,
So
I'm pretty happy with it.
realistically, do you think it'll be done April?
Maybe at the end of April. Yeah,
And April, give yourself
But
another month.
you know me.
Luckily,
yeah.
you don't have like official dates.
I was thinking every quarter. I wanted to this year specifically just get one out each quarter.
Which is like 3 months.
Yeah, every 3 months. But then I thought, well, realistically, when people make albums, usually they release one like once a year. If like, and that's actually quite frequent, every 2 years or so. But then I thought, mine don't have words, so you don't have to. But then a lot of the time, most of the production goes into everything else.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the vocals take a lot, but like lyrics don't usually take that much. Like writing the actual lyrics,
Yeah.
poetry. So.
It's still hard to be a lyricist, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, this was Frank Ocean. You know Frank Ocean?
I know of the man, yes.
Yeah.
I know him personally, actually.
So in an interview, he said it takes him 2 weeks to write all the lyrics to all of his songs,
Damn.
and then the rest of like the year, 2 years, is all production around the words.
So he makes the lyrics first.
Yeah,
Damn.
Frank Ocean is one of the. He's like he writes for people, writes like I think Kanye does as well, but yeah, Frank Ocean he's wrote a lot of. He's like a accredited writer
Yeah.
because he studied English at university.
Damn.
He's really like a
Smart.
really good poet.
Mm.
Yeah, very good with his words. I think he plays instruments as well. But yeah,
Yeah, that's good to hear. It's good to hear this getting along.
Hmm.
A lot of musically minded friends who are eagerly waiting your release. That's for sure.
Well, it's gonna be like my first one. Like you said, you've listened to one of the songs like a lot. Dad said he likes a couple of them and he actually likes them. This one is like throws that one out of the ballpark. Production wise, quality like context and content wise, who knows? Like maybe the other ones will be like more. Maybe there was more just a bit of more like joy or spark in those, but I think this one at least it's like a lot to production. Like I started widening things. I just bought on Waves, so it's like a professional limiter.
Yeah.
So I can now have like a really high quality limiter to use when I'm mastering my tracks. So hopefully it'll sound just a bit more clean, and apparently it colors it nicely, so I'm hoping that comes through as well. And instead of just like pushing up the volume for everything and brick wall so it doesn't like clip, that's what Ableton does. This one's like an actual, it'll probably like glue everything together a lot more than just making everything louder.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about that.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Speaking of excited, I'm also excited about the 2 guests we have planned.
Harry and Casey.
Yeah, and their music as well.
Mm. Me too. Casey's just got his new computer, so
I'm sure there's more music
Yeah.
being made. And Harry could make a music on Potato. That's insane.
probably on one of those a self-powered potato. They connect all the wires.
Yeah,
to them
yeah. Beep bop, beep beep.
Yeah.
Beep, bop,
A GLaDOS, is your Portal 2
Mm.
when she turned into a computer.
No,
Portal 2, Portal, the lady who talks the whole time, the robot lady?
I don't know what Portal is.
The game. Portal.
Game. Portal.
You don't know about it.
Oh, the one with the robots and the teleporting?
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so the lady, she in the end of Portal 2, she gets turned into a like the she gets turned into a she gets put in a potato, like her whole brain.
Essence, yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be us in the future.
Turn into a
Hot
potato.
take.
I wish I could ask, like, if we were streaming, I'd be like, am I loud enough? But obviously we're not streaming, so I can't ask that.
No, I wanna spend more time making music, but uni's just so full on,
Yeah.
and it's just finding time, and that goes into time management skill. Like, I
But
was
at
talking
least
about
you're
before.
studying something at uni that's like gonna serve you, in the long
Yeah,
run.
yeah. I
Like
think
you're
it
not
could
doing
serve.
like political science. You know what I mean?
You're gonna start dissing people on your
Oh
podcast.
my god. Yeah.
But yeah. Also, I got crazy hands, man. Like,
Clammy hands or
yeah, kind of like because of my CF, I like sweat like high concentrated
last
salt
one.
liquid,
Remember
man.
last episode you said you have lung problems and I was like, do you want to elaborate on that? You were like, no. Now this one you said CF.
Yeah. Well, I just because when I play guitar, I'll play it for like a month, and my strings are rusty as fuck,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, it's
Dude.
unplayable, and I have to buy new strings. But
Mm.
Harry recently showed me these strings that are like very corrosion resistant, and they're like $30 though. They're quite expensive, but maybe they'll last a while.
It's not that expensive.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
not
it
that
is.
expensive. I think I'll
Like
buy.
aren't only balls like $20 a pack?
No, they're like $10.
Only balls.
Yeah, if you just buy them online, they're like $10. But if you buy them from an actual shop, they're like marked up.
Only balls the
200%.
coloured packets. There's like
Yeah,
one that's yellow,
I'm
one that's
telling you,
green.
they're like $11
But like a cranberry. Oh, so you're. Oh, yeah, yeah.
online. Way cheaper. It's like
Yeah.
200% markup at any store.
Hmm.
But yeah, I definitely got to get these strings because I want to start practicing guitar again. Just because I like guitar a lot. I just like lose interest quick.
Hmm.
I'm doing a
I put new strings on my guitar. I haven't played it in like a month.
yeah. Like I just want to like learn basic theory. I want to like learn my scales and then start to like make music that way. But like honestly, I've been listening to a lot of like electronica more now.
Hmm.
And I love like electronic music. So most of the time, all of my Ableton tracks are like electronic based, or like all the ones I've released, like
Hmm.
either electronica or like lo-fi.
Yeah, that
kinda.
happened to me. I started listening to house,
Yeah.
and then my music's kind of moved and became a little bit housey.
Like I don't make music for people. I make music for me because it's fun to make, and I just like put it out
Well,
there just because.
yeah, fair enough.
It's
I
interesting.
get you. But
Yeah.
I had this conversation in high school. I was talking to a girl back when I was red pilled up. But
Pre-filled.
I said to her, I was like, you say you dress for yourself, and you don't dress for other people to like look at you and
Yeah.
stuff. But then I said, like, why do you only like dress up like when either you're going out or then to take photos? Like nobody really dresses up if they're gonna be like alone.
Or at home. Yeah.
Yeah, for a long time. So I think there is an aspect of, and I think like we do things like I get exactly what you mean. Like that's why I started making music because it was really fun. But then you also want to know what
It'd
other
be good
people
if people
think
enjoyed
and,
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you want to like sort of move in a direction where like hopefully they will enjoy it and you want to get better at it so it's easier like
Yeah.
on people's ears and things like that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? At least in my perspective.
Yeah. I also felt like a lot of my friends are like putting their music or like posting their music on Instagram, and I don't really want to like seem like I'm copying them, so I just kept it
No,
to
dude,
myself for a
do
while,
it. Do it. You mean me and Casey?
And like Harry and that, but
Yeah. No, do it. It's all. I think it actually like, and I'm not just like being nice about it. It actually helps too because if there's
it
like
motivates you, right?
yeah, and like like me,
Yeah.
because if you're making music, I go, well, that's good, but it also like creates a little community. I think
Yeah.
people get more interested in that
Yeah.
because there's music coming out of like a similar place, and there's like people around you, and it's more variety. Like sort of like capitalism. When more people start growing foods, it creates like a incentive for you to lower your prices to get more sales.
Yeah.
And figure out a better way to do it. There's an aspect of like competitiveness, I guess. But
Yeah, of
not
course.
in a bad way, because I read a verse in the Bible that said something about like not like building each other up, but not being, I don't know what the word was, but it was something along the lines of like being competitive in like I think in a bad way though, like just trying to be better than everybody, or like, but so I don't know. There's like I guess competitive's not like the best word for it. But,
Yeah, for sure.
mm.
It's it's playful competitiveness.
Yeah, or
It's like you're just like you see your mates.
building each other
You
up
see your
kind of
mates.
thing.
Yeah, you're building each other up. You see your mates getting better, and you're like, oh, I don't want to be left
I guess
behind.
it's not really competitive because competitive is like somebody wins.
Yeah, yeah. There's
But
no
in this,
winner. It's just
we
like
want everyone
everyone pulling each other up, you
Yeah,
know, and like you want to do better, and like you know what I
like a
got to
team. We're
yeah.
more like a
You know what I
team.
got to stop
You know?
doing is saying like. I say like so
Oh
much.
well. Oh wow. Helps to explain things.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah. So like now I'm gonna think about it. Anyway, if like you and Casey and Harry all make music, it makes me want to be better at music. And like I've started skating a lot more, and I'm getting better at skating again.
Yeah. Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
So I remember talking to you when you were saying how you'd lost your tricks,
Yeah.
but then I think like a week or so after that, you were saying how much like sort of like went the opposite direction. You felt like you lost your tricks and you were like had to warm up a lot more. And then I think it became like now you're like you just love it again.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I've reinvigorated my love for
Yeah.
skateboarding because I'm doing it more now. And I'm like pushing myself to be better. The other day, I did get bummed by my skateboarding credit card pretty
Oh,
hard.
Casey told me about that.
And it hurt. It hurt so, so much. And I wasn't even doing anything cool. I was doing something so lame. It was just flat ground. I was trying to heel flip and the deck just like rotated and I just landed on it with my ass cheek and now it just hurts. Painful.
Mm.
That's okay. Oh, no, just trying to push to be better at your hobbies, and you know, I feel like I have so many hobbies. You know, I like I, oh, like music and skateboarding and like art and stuff. You know, just
Being a good dad.
I am the father of 5 children. Where'd that come from? Why'd you
know.
say being a dad?
Well, I was gonna say one of your hobbies is being a good boyfriend, but my mind is just like more than ever. Like I'm like really like
You're craving someone. You're craving someone, Brody.
I'm like wow, it'd be nice to have a family, but I think going to church maybe has helps because it's like when you're a Christian and you're like it's like you know if you're Muslim or you're Jewish or you're a right wing conservative and you're like I want to find a right wing conservative or a Muslim or you know a girl or a man if you're
So
a,
inclined.
a lady, yeah. But if you're a Muslim, you're a Jew, you're a Christian. If she goes to walk in front of that, can you just like lift the orange? Yeah.
Yep.
Hi. You'd want to date somebody. I gotta like want to pet my cat. You might have to remind me what I was thinking of. I'd like pick up my cat and be like, show everyone, but. All right, you lift it up. There you go. So yeah, so going to church has made it like a lot more like because I was a Christian during COVID and I didn't really like the idea of churches, like because I was certain things in my theology and my theological belief, my philosophy was like, you know, maybe just skeptical of a lot of churches. And then yeah, eventually I just stopped caring about that and got more
You need a partner in crime.
partner in justice. Anyway, so going to church has like, you know, made it like there's Christian women out there, you know what I mean? And generally like I probably have seen heaps of them throughout my time and I just because there's no sign above somebody that says like I'm a Christian.
Yeah, and even if they're wearing a cross around their neck, you
Yeah.
still don't know.
Although now I'm less skeptical of like maybe the people who wear crosses are actually Christians. There was a point where I was like anybody who wears a cross is definitely not a Christian. But now I'm like even me like when I became a Christian, like when I first started wearing a cross and stuff, like I was, you know what I mean? Like I was like very weird and mild kind of Christian. Not like I was like a new age Christian, but I was also I think I was more of a Christian than like a new age Christian kind of thing. Like I still had a lot of new age spiritual like Buddhist beliefs and stuff, but I was also there was a part of me that I think you can see it in people. They're like you can tell when they're gonna become a Christian when Christianity is like the main thing. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I get you. You're just like it's one of the main things on your mind at the moment.
Yeah, I'm very Very
Even when you're
excited.
talking about anything else or working on anything else, it's
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Not. Yeah. I think. Yeah. Yeah. You're
I
right.
mean, you
You're
got a
right.
cool
You're right.
little pad here. You could just have someone move in with you.
Yeah. It's. I don't know how to put this lightly, but hopefully somebody who's not too tall, because it's not a very big place. If you were somebody in this little
Yeah, yeah.
place and they were like, you know, but I would make it work.
Brody's worried. He doesn't want someone who takes up too much space in his little.
No, I'm just joking.
You
I'm
bump
not.
into each other.
I mean, I've thought about it, but like, if I was in love with somebody and they were living here, I would be happy.
Yeah,
Somebody.
you're gonna be happy
If
either
I was
way.
trying to get past them and they were in the way, I could just like give them a hug and then like body slam them. No, I'm just kidding. I could like spin them around or make it, cute or something. But anyway,
You've been
this is
thinking about this a lot,
not that, but
just in general.
I've been thinking about love a lot more lately. But yeah,
PSA to any Christian women out there, Brody's a free and single man. He's
with
looking
no job
no job, and
unvaccinated.
but he
I
has
have pure
future
blood.
future prospects.
Yeah, like I'm about to get a pickaxe. Future prospects.
Yeah, okay, yeah, good one, solid one there. That is a quality joke.
Thanks. I hope. Do you reckon people are gonna watch this one? They're gonna watch it at the start.
I think they're gonna get to the start and just like, here we go. Let's talk about love, and then we're just like really slowly talking, and just like not even getting anywhere. And then they're just like, "What the fuck is this episode?"
What if the one person who watches it is like my future wife?
Yeah, that's the
That'd be
filter. That's the
dope.
filter out. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that one person that's still watching, comment your. Oh, don't actually do that. Probably just message Brody. He's got his
Comment
socials.
if
He's
you
got his
want.
socials in the link tree. So
Yeah.
you should chuck
Did
my
you see
socials
what
in
I
the
did?
link tree. I forgot to do that.
I did. I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
tell you should make a link tree, because I've got my link tree linked on the link tree. So my one
Just chuck
linked
my
to all
shit
my
on
links.
the link tree.
I can, but then it'll be like uneven. You'll have like 5 links, and I'll have 1.
Well,
I don't mind. I'll just put mine at
I'm
the
a five
top.
link kind of guy,
Yeah. What do you want on there? Like
Uh,
Instagram.
wouldn't want my Facebook. Probably just
Yeah, I don't have mine on. Mine is my album, my Spotify, my Apple Music, my SoundCloud. No, mine's my album, the podcast,
Mm.
Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, and then on the bottom, because you can have like links, and then you can have like links with titles and photos,
Yeah.
and then you can just have like an icon.
Yeah,
So mine got
I think
Instagram,
link my
Twitch, and-
Instagram. You already linked my SoundCloud,
Yeah.
and then
Which Instagram? I don't know which one you use.
put JF Pope, because that is my public one, and like
Is
it's got my
Is it private though?
It is private, but I'm gonna make it public because it's got
Yeah.
my like family and shit on it, so I never post on it like unfiltered.
Why? What are you scared of them seeing?
I'm not scared of them seeing anything. I'm just
Are you
like,
going to incriminate yourself?
no, I'm not gonna incriminate anything because I haven't done anything wrong. But, but what I just like posting dumb
Haven't we
shit
all, Joel?
for me and my friends and like my peers to see, or like get an honest view of who I
Your
am.
peers,
Yeah,
like all the
peers.
beaches.
That's enough. No more puns. I'm gonna put a Brody pun band on this on this podcast. Because I'll just be saying something, you'll just interrupt it with something random, and I'll be like,
And you have to take
you'll take me out of it,
You're like, what?
out of my conversation, out of my like where I was going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a private one for my peers, not a boat peer, just people my age who I like my outside my. I wouldn't say it's like a fake version of myself. It's just who I like, the part of myself I present to the world. And I think that's what Instagram and social media is.
I hate Instagram.
Do you?
Yeah. But it's my main kind of social media thing that I post things on.
Yeah.
But dude, I've had to just like, when I'm on Instagram and I'm like on the algorithm, you know what I mean? I have to remind myself I hate Instagram, because I'll look at something and I go, dude, what is that? And I'll look at something else, and it's either like some weird political thing that the algorithm is just like, you go have this. Why don't you comment on this, Brody? And then, or it's like something I'm just like, or it's a bunch of stuff I don't care for. It's like some lady who's very trying to say this in a funny, witty way, but just like, an Instagram girl, I guess would be a good way to put it.
Girl on the Instagrams, you know.
Or so I don't know. Instagram just does my head in, man. But I love YouTube. I think a lot of people do. A lot of people realize YouTube's one of the last standing before, because I watched a video that said the golden age of the internet is dead. And I thought that makes a lot of sense with, Facebook, how Facebook used to be. Like you were saying, Facebook used to be an actual way for you to like keep up with your friends. As much as people said it, it's like anti-social media, which I think that was what it turned into, like fairly quickly. But at the beginning, it was, it was a place where you could talk to your friends, post things, and it would
on your wall, and it'd be very personal.
Yeah, and it was like the algorithm wasn't really there. There wasn't as many ads, so things you would just see things that like your friends had posted and stuff.
I think I'd rather that, but I think ultimately you can have the choice to do that by just not following any other pages.
Ads.
Yeah, I guess. But I don't even pay attention to ads at all.
Saying that though, I think we have slightly different perspectives when we use social media.
Yeah.
Do you still use Facebook?
Only for like uni stuff.
Yeah,
because
like Messenger, or
like Messenger.
You don't use like the actual Facebook.
I open the app for like events and stuff.
Well, that's what I mean. Like you can't, like, if you do use the
like
app,
I want to delete Facebook, but I use it for like some things.
That's essentially what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
The reason, like, I'm assuming the reason why you want to delete it is the same as like why it's like, because you could just follow like things you like or just have people on there, but I still don't think, because it's still.
That's why I like Instagram, because I feel like it's like it's all it is for Instagram for me. When I go through my phase, it's just things I like and people I know. And that's it, and I like that. I don't really go on the search page, and I try to keep off Reels as much as I can, because I deleted TikTok like maybe a month or two ago, because I just it's such a good algorithm that it keeps showing me things that I find really funny and like really interesting, like cars and just funny shit, and it's like so easy to lose half an hour just not paying attention to time, and you're just like, shit, I just watched half an hour and wasted half an hour of my life, in this fucking app. So I had to delete it. And Reels is just like a shitty version of TikTok, but it still kind of has the same almost addicting scroll factor. But because the Reels algorithm is so shit, it can't like lock me in. So that's why I try to stay off there.
The Instagram algorithm, I think, is kind of trash.
Yeah, like because it's not like it can show you sponsored posts, but it can't push a lot to you. But it's trying.
I think Twitter's this place where
I've never had Twitter.
Either. Twitter's like a, it pushes people just to argue with each other. Like, I think, whereas let's not talk about YouTube, because I still like YouTube, but
I like YouTube.
Facebook is just advertisements, pretty much. Like, that's all it is. It's like advertisements, and
there's a lot of ads on Facebook too, like though.
That's what I'm talking. Facebook. That's what I'm talking.
I mean, I meant to say YouTube.
YouTube, yeah, but YouTube's like good content, and then you have to watch an ad at the start, and then maybe there's a couple ads throughout it.
Yeah.
And like ads are taking over, but YouTube is still very creative and user based.
Yeah, yeah.
Except for the search algorithm. YouTube is dying because you search something like, if you search, that's what I said about, like, if you search Ukraine or COVID, all you get is mainstream news sites. Yeah. And like occasional somebody who just gives you like the same thing that the news sites would give you, but like maybe their own opinion a bit more. That's it. You don't get any kind of interesting, takes. It's the death of free speech. It's an echo chamber. It's a mainstream news. I don't know it's a corporate news sponsored and induced echo chamber.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think I have any opinions on that, because I don't know enough, so I don't want to comment on it at this time. But maybe in the future, when I do a bit more research, I will. But I love YouTube, because it's just got creators on there I actually find funny and
interesting.
I don't have to wait. Like, if I didn't have YouTube, I'd have to like. I mean, if like say Netflix, I'd like wait for a show I liked, or like, and like for that, I'd have to wait for like that actor to start getting roles and get bigger, and then come into my public eye so I can see him and be like, oh, I like this actor. Let's watch more stuff or whatever they're in, But like YouTube on creators, like you can just find like shit you're interested in and find so like interesting and funny, like, and all this shit that wouldn't normally be on, like TV, or have to go through like this massive corporation. They can just post shit without being like analyzed and like run by 70 people whose job titles don't matter.
Yeah.
Well, like, it's not so micromanaged. It's just creators creating good content and putting stuff out there for free and for people to watch for free. I feel like it's just that's a good environment.
Mm,
And
I agree.
obviously, early YouTube was better for creators because they could make more money. But obviously, we got
Well, that's how now is there more ads on YouTube and people are making less money?
because there's more creators as well. There's like tons and
Yeah, that
tons more
makes sense.
creators.
That makes sense.
And like, I think I heard something on YouTube the other day. Like, your first million is like your first 100K if it was in 2012. You know,
Hmm.
like that's what they liken it to.
Hmm.
Because like,
Well, you've also got inflation, but
yeah, but inflation is
that's a
not
different thing.
raising. It's not like
No,
raising at that rate.
if 10 years ago, $1 million was worth 100, or if 10 years ago, $100,000 is now worth, like, we would be on a very, very steep decline.
Yeah,
We're on a decline, but it's not
Yeah.
nearly that steep. So,
like how like the minimum wage has not increased like as the inflation has increased. Like they're just like two very different fucking graphs.
yeah, yeah, yep. I think that's moving into more of an area of government intervention. But saying that, central banks and limitless government spending because of central banks, and essentially, like, yeah, that's what sort of led to that. But the thing that's interesting, I watched a video that's talking about how income tax is actually, like, it's it's it, it's unlawful, but it's not even necessarily legal either. Like, you think there's a lot of things, I think we've talked about this before, that are legal but are unlawful. Income tax, I believe, isn't actually like legal, like, because there's in America, which America is different to Australia, but there was a person who put out in a newspaper article like 40 or 30 years ago, $50,000 reward for anybody who can find the law that states you have to pay income tax.
Yeah.
Nobody ever found it. There was actually, like, and this is people in the documentary who they worked for the what's the American version of the ATO, the IRS. They worked for the IRS, and they said, well, the lady said, I've heard about this thing where people say it's not even, you don't have to pay income tax, and then there's also a $50,000 reward. So kill two birds with one stone. She ended up leaving the IRS because she couldn't find it. And in Australia, it's actually like similar to, if you go a certain way about your finances, if you work for yourself and you put all your currency or your Australian dollars into, I believe it's a non-person account, so like a non-person trust, and you sign it as it's a non-person, you don't sign like the contract with the ATO, you're not enforced to pay it. But then you get into a whole thing of, it's like what I wrote on my sheet, like the government is essentially the biggest in crime syndicate. If you don't pay it, because it's essentially illegal, and from my perspective at least, the government is the largest crime syndicate. It's like, if you didn't pay the mafia,
they'll come and get you.
They'll come and get you.
Yeah,
And
okay.
the government's
That's super
essentially
weird. It's like, I remember you were telling me one day about your straw man, your straw.
It's a similar thing. It's all contractual. That you sign when you write on your tax return. I think there's a box that says on yes, will you need to do a tax return next year, and you can actually write yes or no. Like, it's contractual. If you say yes, and then that year, that tax year, you all suddenly decide, okay, I'm not going to, I'm going to put all my money into a trust and not pay tax, because it's like, it's actually legal to do that. Like, it's the right thing to do. If you do that, but you've signed this contract that says you're going to pay tax from this year to this year, you're liable because you've signed a contract. So there's a lot. The law is very, very, very burdensome in that aspect. It's not to say taxes are unlawful, full stop. Like, I believe it's investments and corporate tax,
Infrastructure and shit like that.
Well, then you get into the thing with our taxes. Like, if our taxes really did pay for things, why do we have an ever increasing, like substantially increasing national debt? It's because most of the money that the government uses comes from government bonds from the central banks.
Yeah.
So most of our taxes don't even pay for the things.
So where's it going?
I've heard in America, so this is in America, not Australia, but all their tax money just goes off to paying the national debt.
Huh.
Because that's what the central banks are for. The government used to have to get loans from people, from industry. That's what government bonds are. And then the central banks popped up about 100 years ago, 120, 130 years ago, and started saying, like, they're not, this is the Federal Reserve Bank. It's not a bank. it's whatever a bank is. It's not a reserve. Didn't have any gold at its creation. Didn't have any reserve things, and it's not federal. It's privately owned. So they say to the government, all right, you will need this money. We'll give you that money, and you have to pay us back. That's what a bond is. It's like it's a mortgage, essentially a loan. It's a bond. Bond is like a government loan.
Yeah.
And so they essentially write the check to the government, having no money. But then because the government pays them back, they suddenly have that word. Banks have I don't know what the word is, but they have like capital essentially, because now they've got a piece of paper that says the government is going to pay them back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a lot to wrap your head around, that's for sure. Like, I'm like, yeah, that's just a lot to wrap your head around.
It's a lot to wrap your head around. And I think the thing that really puts it into perspective is the ever increasing national debts. Like, how can, for one, I think you've got countries like Venezuela and stuff that did just print their own money, and they had $1 trillion notes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just became worthless. How can America and Australia keep printing off their own money and their debt increase, but it doesn't, you know what I mean? Why is it increasing and the debt's getting to like trillions of dollars? Ours, I think, just hit $1 trillion, yet our money's still worth something, or our currency's still worth something.
Yeah.
I think that's puts it into perspective, how it's like, it's not completely just a far-fetched conspiracy theory.
Yeah. It's so complex that it's like you don't bother spending time figuring it out.
But a house of cards always falls. It's not stable.
Will it fall in my lifetime? Well,
Some
like
people think
think
so.
about the housing crash. Like, that was a house of cards. That was just nothing on nothing.
You've seen the movie,
Yeah, there's people like making money out of like thin air, and it made no sense. I gotta watch that movie again so I can understand it better.
Do you remember what happens at the end of the movie?
The bankers all get paid out by the government. No one gets reprimanded, and lots of people suffer.
And they eventually they start doing it again, just under a different name.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, but there's that as well, which is another aspect. Like what is it, like an evil tree, or a bad tree, a poisonous tree always produces bad fruit. And this is where I understand what some socialists say, but socialism isn't the answer to this problem. Socialism is like, if you want to make things worse than they already are, than communism. But the sympathy I have with socialists, which I think this goes into an aspect of life that's very interesting to think about, but which is how certain people can have ideas about how we should go about things, and those ideas can be like really bad. Like, people start cults and things because like society's not very good, and so they go into this cult and then do horrific things, because the solution to the problem that we have is way worse than the problem.
Yeah.
But the socialists will say, the system we have, the economy we have is really, like, it's corrupt, which is true, like, fundamentally, but it's not because of white supremacy and because of sexism and racism. It's because of the legal system. It's because of, essentially the legal system. Everything's done, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of rich people making a lot of decisions for the rest of us. How long are we into this, actually? What's that say?
53 minutes.
Damn, it feels like way longer than what we spent last time. Maybe because we had so much to talk about last time.
Yeah, half an hour. It's 9 o'clock. I left that open to have a look at the screen. Tell me what you think looks better. I don't think this looks very good.
Yeah, I think you're fiddling with it a lot before, and I was like, what are you doing,
I think
Brady?
that looks alright. Do you reckon? Sorry, Joel, can I just say...
What?
Well, okay, Joel.
Yep.
When do you... Because, well, for me...
You're looking at my shoes, so I feel like this is a shoe question.
Yeah. Do you... Like, how did you choose to wear black socks today? I'm trying to not be like picky, like but you know what I mean? Like, you might have to lift up the cord. No, she's alright.
What?
Like
Black socks?
Because you're wearing white shoes with white laces.
And I chose to wear black socks.
Yeah, like for me at least. Like, I used to do the same, but now I can't.
I just picked up I almost wore odd socks today.
Oh, really?
I just picked up whatever.
So you just don't really,
didn't even think about it.
Yeah, no, that's
because I was wearing pants.
Yeah. I think I'm going to
Sometimes
be
when-
pretty quiet during this. But
Sometimes when I'm wearing shorts, I think about it, but like
yeah.
other than that, I don't.
You know, I've started giving her treats when she does that because she doesn't scratch on anything. And cats like they have to scratch on things because it like helps their nails.
My cat scratches on fucking everything.
Yeah, my cat doesn't. When I'm sleeping to wake me up, she'll scratch on the top of my bedhead. But
I just thought she walks up to you and pat you on your forehead.
no, she'll like scratch me a little bit. But I used to for a while. I was like, I'd get up and lead her out here and then close the door. She could sit out here and sleep for a bit and then meow at me
Yeah.
because I'd wait till the sun come up. And now I just feed her. I go, cats will wake you up earlier and earlier and earlier and earlier to get you to feed them. But then I think anyway, it gets to a certain point they stop.
Yeah.
Like I don't think because nobody's getting woken up at like 1.
Nah.
So I don't know. Cats ever. Anyway,
Cat's a weird animal.
yeah, I love cats. But I was just dog sitting 2 dogs for the weekend, which was actually not bad. You know, I don't mind dogs. Yeah,
I like
Alright.
dogs. I like dogs.
yeah, I like dogs too.
I like dogs and cats. I feel like I'm
Me
more of a
too.
dog person than a
Yeah.
cat person.
I don't know. I like a good dog. I like a chill dog, which is I guess more like a cat. I like a dog who's more like a cat, but I still love dogs. I like a well trained, dog who just kind of you get excited, you give it a pat, and then it goes off and sniffs around or does
Does
its
its
own
own
thing.
thing.
Yeah, but yeah, one day it'd be cool to have a cat and a dog. But
One day it will happen. In the future, dog, cat, wife, kids. That's what you're gonna have.
Hmm.
Nice.
Yep.
Sit in silence for the rest of the episode. It's just a half an hour of us going. You know? The AC gremlin comes out again to control the AC. How many times is that now? Commenters? Twice, but like you also adjusted a lot of other things.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see if it's too quiet this time.
The adjustment meter. Beep, 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 beep.
Hi, camera. I don't know why I said hi, camera. There's gonna be people watching this.
Will there be people watching at this point? I think everyone gave up after the fucking love section where we just talk so slowly.
Free love, man.
Free
Well,
love.
if
Free
we have
love.
half the view rate of what we did, there'll be at least 3 people who watch it through.
Yeah.
One of them will probably be me.
Yeah,
but
one of them. Oh, it's
we
funny.
haven't peed this episode. Joel's tired.
Big day. Big day.
I only got 3 hours sleep on Saturday. 'Cause
Really? Why?
That's when Casey was over.
Oh yeah.
So we went skating at Frankston from 4 till 6 or 7. Then
Frankston Skate Park.
we went back and there was no one there. It was weird.
Is it a good skate park there?
Really good, yeah.
Yeah.
Really nice. It's like a really good street park. Like, you know, Noble's like a park.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really transition skating. It's not really like street. It's just like park.
Yeah.
Really nice. But I love Noble. Frankston's like very street skating. Like,
Yeah.
It's very cool. Like, I think a lot of
Lot of
street
ledges
skaters
and
go there.
stuff and-
Yeah. It's very fun too.
Mm.
Not just like a street park where you have to do heaps of ollies and your legs get tired.
Continue with.
Yeah,
what
I
you
want to
were-
talk about that skate park we went to that time where I smashed my knee. But so on Frankston, it was there till 6 or 7 or something. Then we got pizza, went and watched a sunset, which was really nice. While we
Cute
ate
date.
pizza. It was a cute date, wasn't it, Casey? And then and then I brought a soccer ball.
Oh yeah.
So then we went and kicked the ball, which was really fun, but like I'm really unfit, so like very quickly I got tired, but I just powered through it, which I love to do. And just it's really fun. We're kicking the ball. Casey got a few photos of me juggling, which was like me hitting the ball a few times, but I'm not bad. I really love kicking a soccer ball.
Mm.
So yeah, we went skating at Frankston, then we went and got Domino's, watched the sunset, then we went and kicked the ball for a bit. Then I took a photo of Casey sitting on a giant metal crab, which was cool. And then he followed me home. We went and picked up my monitors. And then I'm just checking if I'm yellow. Yellow is for, oh my god, I'm clipping. Yellow, I mean for the like where I am in the, you've got, how do I explain this?
Don't worry about explaining it. Just continue with
In the
your story.
yellow, like if you're in the green with the microphones, be careful, you're clipping when you do that. Like red means like I want to give an example, but let's not do that. When you like something's really loud and it distorts, like yellow is like when you're almost there. So I was just checking if I was just essentially just checking if I'm loud enough. That was what the joke was.
Yeah.
So then yeah, after that, so we were skating at Frankston. Then we went and watched the sunset while we ate Domino's, played some soccer, went back to mine, got the monitors, went to where I was house sitting, set up the monitors and made a beat or two, and had a glass of wine, which was nice. Bought some crackers and dips and stuff, but we never ate them, and reheated up some pizza. By the end of that, it was like 1 a.m. We played some Rocket League, talking about stuff. And then, by the time I went to bed, it was like 4:30. Then I got up at 9 to go to church. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
And then last night I was like, dude, I poured a glass of wine. I had GYG, Guzmani Gomez, the Mexican joint.
We have a GYG on campus. I went there today. That's what I
On
had.
campus?
Yeah, it's dangerous because I buy it all the time. It's so good.
You might know Sam, actually. Sam, this guy, I met in Melbourne at one of the protests. He's a Christian. He goes to uni. Do you go to Monash?
Yeah, but I don't know everyone that goes to Monash.
Why not, Joel? But anyway, yeah, it was a good day.
That's good. That's good. Today's Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the plans for the rest of the week?
Music.
Music. Lots of music.
Yeah.
That's it? Just music?
Unfortunately.
Oh, that's all right. That's how you get better.
Hopefully I'll be going on a date this week. That'd be nice.
Really?
Oh, hopefully.
Oh, you just
I don't know.
out of thin air.
Yeah, out of thin air.
Okay.
A miracle.
Yeah,
That's what
miracle.
God's all about.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. But
Have you got any other equipment you're looking at buying?
subwoofer.
Subwoofer.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was $500.
Hey, not so nice.
Oh, and insurance.
Insurance
I have to buy insurance.
on your car.
Yeah.
How much that cost?
$600.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Got a few big buy.
It's only
things.
third party as well.
Yeah, I got full comp. It's $1,000.
Yeah.
Not good. But what can you do?
Yeah.
If I crash my car, it'll be okay.
How much did your car cost?
It was free, but we had to fix it up, so it's probably like 2.5.
So in 2 years, 2.5 years, you
Yes,
paid more
yes,
in
I
insurance
know,
than you have for your car.
But it's like if I crash into someone else's car,
You're not gonna have $1,000.
No.
Do you pay monthly?
No,
Good stuff, big fella.
I don't pay it. I've never paid it.
Oh, you don't pay your insurance?
My dad paid it.
Oh, shout out
Yeah.
to
Darren Poe.
Darren, not Gavin.
That's my uncle.
Darren Pope. Are you gonna untag yourself in this one as well when I post it to your Facebook?
No, of course not. This one's fine.
Because this one you don't talk about the tea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look
Cool.
at this guy, but I got this guy from Kmart for my cat. They
Chew toy.
yeah. I'm so tired.
Yeah, I think this episode is tailing off
Yeah.
because you didn't get much sleep on Saturday night.
Saturday I got like 12 hours sleep or like 10 hours sleep last night.
Yeah.
This morning.
Yeah, but you're still tired from the night.
Yeah. Also, I have to apply for Centrelink got me this thing where I have to do training for a call center job. It's like 3 days a week, 9 to 4. I'm not keen. I hope Centrelink doesn't watch this, but I have to sign up for it before Wednesday or something. So like I'll probably do it tomorrow. Sign up for it. Like they call me on Wednesday, and she's gonna call me on Wednesday. So I'm just gonna tell her I had a really busy week, which I mean I sort of did.
Yeah.
It's not really a lie. I've been like trying to make music and
It's
stuff.
a hyperbole.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't say it because like I really shouldn't lie, but
Just a little one.
yeah, I'll have to. Yeah, I'll have to apologize for that, but
Do you want to wrap this one up?
not
It's been-
really. I'm
no-
kind of enjoying it.
Kind of enjoying it?
Yeah,
I'm enjoying it too. It's just
We'll go for
feel like my energy's
10
like
more minutes.
sapping.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, 10-15. 10-15 works. Just trying to think. It's just next time I will come in with a more rigid idea of what I think I want to talk about. I
Yeah,
reckon. start to put a bit more effort in instead of just rocking up and hoping I can talk for an hour and a half about everything and nothing at the same time.
Yeah. Well, Will Mickey just messaged me something which we could go into for 10 minutes.
Okay. Why?
Well,
What did he
this is
say?
what he messaged me, and he watches these, so hopefully he watches this one. He said, "Hey Chief, do you know anything about Carthusians?" Which, as soon as he said it, because he's talking to me, I assumed it's some kind of, which I've already looked it up, but it's some kind of religious, like either society or cult, kind of, not a cult, but I've only glanced at them, but it seems interesting. So I'm on Googled it, and it says Carthusians religious order. It's got like a cross with a circle at the bottom, some stars. They kind of look like the KKK, but it says the Carthusians, this is from Wikipedia, also known as the Order of Carthusians, are a Latin enclosed religious order of the Catholic Church. The order was founded by Bruno of Cologne in 1084 and includes both monks and nuns.
Thought I said no more fucking.
The order has its own rule called the Statutes and their life. What just happened then?
I don't know. It just clipped out for a second. Weird.
Still says an hour and 5. The order has its own rule. I'm not even in the yellow, man. The order has its own rule called the Statutes, and their life combines both eremitical and cenobitic monasticism.
Might have to watch a YouTube video about it.
You have no idea. Catholic monastic.
I'm a secret Carthusian.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
You
have
would
been this
be.
whole time.
5 facts about the Carthusian order by Catholic Digest.
One guy.
But again, this is Google. Google doesn't very provide much interesting stuff. The name Carthusian is derived from Châteauroux Mountains. Grand Châteauroux is still the head monastery. The monks are involved with the production of liquor. They lead solitary lives. They have their own rule. I assume this is something like when somebody knows a lot about it on a YouTube video, it'd be really interesting.
Yeah, but just reading the Wikipedia page doesn't seem to
yeah,
be
like
that.
very basic
Yeah.
Google recommended websites are like poo.
State owned.
Look at this. Look at this ad.
Okay.
See what I mean? Like, why? I don't even wear
Women's underwear.
women's swimsuits.
Oh, Jesus. No, I didn't mean that one. Oh, poo. Oh, damn.
You didn't.
I
mean
thought
what?
this one would be like way more high energy and like, I just feel like
we were both nervous last time.
and I think that just got us talking and talking and
Yeah.
talking. And I feel because we hadn't done this before, we had plenty of conversation to
Yeah.
go off of.
We were virgins.
Yeah. The podcast virgins.
The podcast virgins.
Yeah. And we went straight into it and it was good. It might have felt like we went on a lot of tangents, but I felt like it was good,
So did
good
I.
listening stuff. You
Whereas
know?
I'm wondering, because this one I feel pretty confident that it's like entertaining, like
Yeah.
you know, like calmly entertaining, like
Something you could listen to while
yeah.
driving.
But because I feel confident about this one and last one, I was like, but then again, last one I felt confident about. So I don't know. Maybe
Yeah, I
I'll-
felt confident about the last one too. I'm gonna have to get some constructive criticism off a few people and then I'll come back.
on this one,
Yeah, and then I'll
Oh,
come
yeah.
back banging on the third.
yeah,
Absolutely fucking whiplashing,
on
man.
fire. I reckon I'm gonna be too quiet on this one, but oh well.
Well, last time we were really loud,
Yeah.
so we try to bring that back.
Oh, that was loud.
Bring it back. Hey.
Bring
Yeah.
it on back now. What's that song?
Don't know what he's thinking.
Oh well. Yeah. Is that it? This
Is
it?
that it?
Can we talk about something? I just don't want to end it. We'll get the sheet. We'll
Get
do
the sheet.
one
Whip the,
topic.
whip the sheet out. Ask me some questions.
We should like get a pen so we can like rule stuff out.
Yeah.
You want to talk about one of my ones or one of your ones?
Whatever you want, man.
An expanded one or like just a one of you wrote?
Pick whatever.
So we've got affordable housing, the globalist conspiracy, nature versus nurture with talents, truth and belief 2,000 years ago versus now. That has to do with yeah. So and then there's some on the back. This is a Jewish and Greek one, which talks about the importance of Greece and the ancient Greeks with philosophy in regard to the Bible, the future society and civilization, and the kingdom of God in relation and contrast to the Jewish ideas, philosophies, morals in ancient Israel. contribution to the future of the world in relation and parallel to the Jews. Greece versus Israel. Greece versus the Jews.
Damn. Okay.
So then we got mandated safety. Dad did say he thought it'd be interesting if we could like go into how we got into music and like why. I think he obviously knows about me, but I think he said it would be interesting if we talked about that.
Do you want to save that for another podcast and
think,
not just have it as like a finishing?
Yeah,
add-on?
because that would be a lot to talk about. ASMR.
Yeah, it turns into. You need an omnidirectional mic though. Oh wait, they are omnidirectional. You need.
No, they're not.
You need. Oh, aren't they?
No, they're unidirectional.
Oh.
It's front cataloid mics, I think.
Oh yeah, like those
Cataract.
one weird ASMR mics.
Yeah. So we could talk about affordable. I'll just give you the topics. We could just.
I just
even
listen
talk
to
about
the topics.
I'll expand on them. Or no?
Nah, that's
Um,
alright.
I think what I'm interested in, what like the other ones, like are very. I picture them very visually, but this one I don't know. I'm just interested in it. Which is the globalist conspiracy, the skeptics versus the pessimists. So, like 100 and wait, no, that's a different one. Yeah. So the truth of it all, which being deeper than you'd think, philanthropy, environmental, and eugenics. So essentially, what that was is, in terms of like a conspiracy of like globalists and sort of people who want to rule the world and stuff like that. There's like kind of two. If you just like put everybody into two categories, which it doesn't really work out like that. But there's essentially the skeptics, who are like, I don't think there's really a conspiracy of people who are like secretly trying to control the world. And then you got the pessimists, who are like, everything is part of a corrupt system of people who are the New World Order, who are conspiring to kill us with vaccines and GMOs and that's essentially the two groups. And on one side you've got people like me, how I used to be, where I was like, everything is the devil, like you can't even go outside because it's mind control, MK Ultra, just everything is like crazy. And then you got people like who are like, no, that's ridiculous, like to think that there's any kind of conspiracy whatsoever. But I think, and then that's where I get into this, it's very much deeper than you'd think, because you go into like philanthropy, environmentalism, and eugenics, and you go into an area where it evolves very quickly.
Eugenics, isn't that Scientology?
Eugenics is the science of, I believe, it's like selective breeding humans, I believe. Eugenics.
Eugenics.
You can Google it if you want.
I can't. We're using my phone to video.
Do you want to use mine?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
But just on the topic of environmentalism, like there's, a group of people who obviously believe the world is dying and it's, we're going to destroy the world.
I definitely agree with that sentiment.
Yeah. And so you go into, I guess, environmentalism and like in terms of globalism, things like the World Economic Forum, United Nations. Not really sure who is the biggest one, the proponent of that, but these people who say World Economic Forum is really big on environmentalism and stuff, but they say, I think the Great Reset has to do with that, because we're destroying the planet and we're, destroying everything. We need to essentially remove the abilities of people to own houses and own their own houses and decide where they want to live. And, you get into the area of we're overpopulated. So then you got people who go, okay, well, in poorer nations, they have a lot more kids because the likelihood that those children will survive is very low.
Yeah.
Where in the West, we have a lot more kids. I mean, we have a lot higher chance of surviving, so we tend to have less. But then you've also got the aspect of, in the West, there's like no real, importance of family and, marriage and these things. So I think it's a lot bigger than just in the West because children survive. That's why we don't have kids. I think there's a lot of Western sentiment and anti-family rhetoric that kind of goes on. But environmentalism, how that ties into it is that certain people think we're overpopulated and think, okay, we need to, like Bill Gates said it, with vaccines and with in medicine, we can enable in the poorer countries so that their children will survive and so that they have less kids. But then, like, you can move step by step into a place where you go, well, we need to stop people from having as much kids. and you go, well, we should stop them from having kids. Then you go, there's too many people, so we need to like, kill off the weaker among us, or you know what I mean? Like,
I don't think it's gonna go downhill that quick, and
no, no,
that
no. That's what I'm saying. Like, I believe there are already people like that who exist in the world who have a lot of power and who think these kind of things. But
mm,
that's what I'm saying. There's two kind of views. Like, that's what I mean. It's a lot deeper than we think, because
yeah,
people ultimately are. Everybody has their own agenda, and everybody has things
mm,
they want to do. So to say like, no, there is no conspiracy whatsoever, that's ridiculous, is naive. And to say that the conspiracy is like everything is part of the grand conspiracy, I think is also naive, because you like one fails. They both fail to realize human nature. I think
yeah,
the skeptics of like a globalist conspiracy think that everybody ultimately deep down is good, and like and in their heart aims to do good. But then the pessimists, I think, fail to believe that people are there is an aspect to people that are good, but also that people are fallible. So like even though there is like people generally everybody doesn't want like in their heart of hearts like want to do like really good in every aspect of their life.
yeah.
They fail to acknowledge that like people kind of are actually kind of bad.
That was a
um,
big one. That was a
yeah,
big one. But
yeah.
sorry.
Anyway, yeah, the pessimists failed to accept that like there's a lot of different varying opinions, and like a lot of different groups want different things. And
Yeah,
like people are a lot, to put it just simply, like people are a lot stupider than for them to be like super intelligent to form this grand conspiracy. Like and people, like you can even see it in like different like sects of like secret societies and stuff, how they branch off because people disagree. Like,
yeah.
so
And like
it's
even if you look at like a big group of people who agree, like they're bound to group up again and branch off. Like look
mm,
at like Christianity, for example. There's so many different sects and
mm,
parts of,
mm,
or any religion. There's different parts of religion that interpret the rules a different way, or whatever.
mm, mm.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that
I
was
I
really
definitely would
hard.
put myself in the
Skeptic.
skeptic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm probably more cynical, which I guess would go into the category
Yeah,
of
I don't think
pessimism. But
there's this whole new world order. And I don't believe
mm,
the Freemasons are controlling
yeah,
everything
well, I think
in the world.
there's a lot of people with a lot of influence who are Freemasons. But there's also a lot of other secret societies and things. So like, but anyway, like I do believe that Freemasons have a lot of influence, at least
Mm.
to say. But I think to say there is like a new world order is essentially like that's just to view it in like what people believe it is with like the conspiracy theorists.
Mm.
To put it plainly, it's just like literally what it means, a new world. So a world is like not as in like the earth and the planet physically, but society, values, morals, the law. It's a new system of order for the world, which is sort of what we're moving into with like these international organizations like the United Nations, the World Health Organization, the World Economic Forum, things like NATO, which isn't world, but the Bank of International Settlements. They are this international, like one world
Yeah,
sort of system of order. Like they kind of
I guess,
have a
but that
lot
just
of
sounds like
influence.
really convoluted. And like the UN has been around since the Second World War and
Yeah,
shit like that.
doesn't, but yeah, but it doesn't mean like that's still relatively new, and
Yeah,
they're becoming more and more influential. You know what I mean?
yeah, but I feel like the UN. Oh, I don't know. See, I don't know enough about a lot of this stuff to have an opinion or feel like my opinion is well educated. You know what I mean? So I don't want to like be throwing shit out there that I don't
Mm,
100% know. But I just feel like it's better if like the UN is like a lot of countries talking to each other
mm,
about worldly issues. But if it was a lot of countries that weren't talking about worldly issues and just doing what they fucking wanted, I feel like there'd be a lot more conflict.
mm, mm, to a degree. But then, like, that's the whole thing of essentially Russia with Ukraine stems from Ukraine, like America wanting Ukraine to join NATO for like sort of political interest. Like, there's a lot of politicians who have, politicians' children or family, and politicians like in America who have a lot of interest in Ukraine and a lot of economic sort of ties and different political ties to Ukraine. So
I
NATO,
definitely don't think Russia should have invaded them.
yeah, that's that's a yeah. I think I've heard a lot of people say that. Like I still, I'm trying not to be on the fence because like I say, if you're on the fence about something, the fence is guaranteed to fall one day, and then you have to fall to one side.
Yeah, like Switzerland during World War Two. They didn't want to get involved.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what Switzerland have now, the Bank of International Settlements, which is essentially what people say it is the central bank for central banks. It's
Yeah.
so they don't want to be politically involved, but now they're like, yeah. So anyway, yeah, I think, yeah, just to say like with NATO, like Ukraine, the reason Russia is yeah, which it's to say like if it's I really don't know at this point, but there's like most of East Ukraine is especially very very far towards the east is pro Russia.
Yeah.
And then for like them to join, like there's been wars in Ukraine since for like 10 years.
Yep.
Between like Ukraine and like essentially Ukraine and Ukraine, because there's groups that don't want to be a part of NATO and want to be a part of Russia, and Ukraine has said no. Like, so Russia is like, I think the general consensus, which I think this is like, again, I don't want to give like a side particularly too early, especially like when we've got a long way to go, especially there's a lot to learn, but a lot of people say, with places like Crimea and Donbass and Luhansk or Luhansk or something like that, they, like, even people in Ukraine wanted them to be able to join Russia because Ukraine was fighting their own people essentially, because they didn't want to essentially be a part of Ukraine. They wanted to be a place, and like Ukraine was literally like bombing them, and they were like, they were shooting each other and stuff. And then so a lot of Ukrainians and people in those regions were really happy when Russia went in, but then those people also say that it's they're for Russia then to invade Ukraine as well is a bit questionable.
Yeah.
And again, like there's a lot of people dying, which is really sad and really bad. So I, of course, it'd be better if no one could die, but again, like people are people. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's human nature, isn't it? So it's just, I don't know, man. It's a really complicated issue, and I am not well equipped enough to take it on at this point.
Yeah, and it's been a long talk, and
It has been a long
pretty
talk.
tired. So
Yeah, I don't know how I was able to like stay in the zone for so long last time, because it was like 12 o'clock by the time we finished up.
Yeah.
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 So I was like, maybe I just had enough coffee for that day, and I was just zinging.
Also, we didn't eat. We've just had a bunch of carbs, so I think carbs.
Yeah, our body's like trying to process it, and
Yeah.
we're just like,
I think a lot of carbs make you
Yeah.
tired. So
food coma,
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think we'll end it here.
I think we're good.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.
If anybody has watched, give them another number or something. Doesn't have to be a number. To comment.
Oh, what did I say last time?
It was 571.
Comment.
You're really rubbing that mic.
Comment.
People are gonna hear like there's gonna be like dum 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 dum. Okay, stop.
Comment Mike Rubber. All right.
Yeah. Like Mike.
Yeah, I'm rubbing people named Mike.
Mike Rubber, like he's a person.
Yeah.
So yeah, and yeah, thanks for watching again.
If you got up to this point, I'm proud of you. Please give me constructive feedback. I know I was a bit tired this episode, but
yeah,
next episode I'll come in swinging.
Yeah,
with structure and some talking points and something to go off.
A bit more motivation. Maybe some things will happen in our lives.
I'll down a whole energy drink beforehand.
Oh no, that'll be fun. But anyway,
now it's thumbnail time.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. Time to end it. You guys didn't get to see this last time because I cut it off. So.
Chloe,